welcome to Mr. Giant Reacts Ting and Ting and Ting. So, I reacted to another song by Iris and Felicia Filip. It was called Baby, and then everybody said, well, you like that one? You have to check out this one. Let's see what your reaction to this one is going to be. And this one is called De via pleca. And I think it translates to when you leave. That's what the translation told me. And it's a song about somebody leaving, but the other person is telling them, I hope that when you leave, you will be protected, you know what I mean, and things like that. So this is supposed to be another epic one. So I'm all in for this, and I hope you guys are there too. Let's go ahead and YouTube and simmer. Stick around. Let's see what kind of a melody and vibe this one's going to bring up. Yeah. I like that. I like when she's do that operatic thing. Oh, here we go. Wow. That was epic. That was epic. Those two are perfect match of two different genres right there. I could tell you that. You know what I mean? I thoroughly enjoyed that. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Thank you for suggesting it. You know what I mean? It's crazy how those two genres just merged perfectly. Now I've heard other people try it. They haven't even come close to this. Not close, I've seen bands, around here try to do that, but it didn't work as well as this year. Maybe it's the language too. The language is such a romantic language that is being sung, and it just seemed natural. You know what I'm saying? But that was good. About the actual context of the song, it seems like a lot of people sing about somebody leaving them, and people struggle with that kind of stuff a lot. You know what I mean? And it can be a struggle because when you fall in love, you don't expect somebody to fall out of love, which is kind of a naive to think that it wouldn't happen, but it does, unfortunately. Sometimes way too much. And you could be as careful as you want to be with who you fall in love with, but you just never know because time changes, you know what I mean? And people change with time. But have you ever noticed that a lot of the times it's not so much so that the person has changed, it's the circumstances that change. And people let circumstances dictate what happened to them in their relationship. And the circumstances sometimes have other people in those circumstances that create problems. And I'm not even talking about somebody having an affair or cheating. I'm just talking about other people would come in and say, oh, things would be going just perfect. But I'll give you an example. I'm not saying my marriage was perfect at all, but it wasn't like horrible. But then listen to this. People I never hung out with, people I never talked to, I never do anything with, were telling my ex, he's the devil, he's evil, he's vicious. And for some reason, she kind of listened to that. See, now after years of being divorced, she don't even talk to those people anymore, but she still tried to be friends with me. Because she realized, well, wait a minute, now what the vibe is. Because like I said, I never hung out with those people, never talked to those people, were never friends with those people, didn't even really know who I was because I was never around them. But to them, I was the devil. I guess because I wouldn't join their clique, their little clique. They had this clique where all these people hung out together and do all of this and all that. Well, I had nothing in common with them. Why would I hang out with people I don't have anything in common with? That's just the way I am. I'm not a drinker. I don't like going to bars very much. You know what I mean? I'm not the rowdy type. I like adventurous stuff like traveling and going places and seeing. These people had nothing like that in them. Why would I want to be hanging around them and be beaten into this mundane life without thinking beyond the box? But that's what they did. And they didn't go so far as saying that I was abusive to my kid. Which is kind of funny because later on, my kid, I was talking to my kid and he was like, what? You never even yelled at me. I never did. I said, hey man, stop doing that. Don't do this. This is the way you do it. I didn't yell, didn't scream, didn't hit, didn't do anything like that. I sat down and talked. I use psychology, you understand what I'm saying and thing? And he listened to me pretty good. I was a good kid. But that's why I said extenuating circumstances create a riff in people, if you listen to them. Don't always listen to people. People don't, they just want you to be like them. And I could go on and tell you how their situation was, but that's not my place to. But that's what I'm talking about when I say outside. And I'm not saying I was the perfect husband. By no stretch of the imagination was I perfect. I could tell you that. I was stumbling and bumbling. I was raised in a single family home. So I was learning as I go along how to be a husband. And even if you come from a home where you have both parents, you're going to learn as you go along how to be a good husband and a good father and stuff because the circumstances are different. The time is different. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are always like, these younger kids today, blah, blah, blah. The time is different. The thing that's some of the things, a lot of the things that your parents taught you, it's not going to apply today. It's definitely not going to apply today. There's just the culture shifts. And you have to be cognizant of that shift in order to raise your kids. You have to be cognizant of that shift in order to love somebody. You can't let the changes dictate how you love. Love is love, period. That's the way it is. Anyway, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this song. Drop a like in the video if you do. Share the video. Tell them Mr. Jihad is reacting. You understand what I'm saying? In the meantime, y'all take care of each other. Enjoy life. Love. Love. Don't love because. Don't love for. Just love. And let's bring it back in this world, okay?